wow, here we are again. Guess what? It is the second Content Mojo challenge. Can you believe that? The first one, well, we all had so much fun, we decided to do it again. And not only that, we might just keep doing it. Now, for those of you who haven't done a challenge like this before or who didn't do the last Content Mojo challenge, I wanted to first tell you a little bit about content marketing and why it's actually important for your business online. I found this definition and I thought it might help. So, content marketing is the marketing and business process for creating and distributing relevant and valuable content to attract and acquire and engage and clearly define and understand the target audience with the objective of driving profitable customer action. So basically it's you creating stuff for your business that you can use to market your business online. And guess what? That's exactly what we're going to be doing. And the reality is, if you have a business online or you're thinking of starting a business online, you want to get people to come to your website, it is actually your job. It's something you should be doing all the time. It's something as self-employed people kind of put it on the back burner. If you've been doing this for a while like me, and I've been working online since 2002, this is something that you think, I'll get around to it because I'm busy servicing the current customers I have or creating product for them or, doing videos like this. But you're not actually creating content and content that you can use to market your business. And that's what you need to be doing. Mind you, what I'm doing now is perhaps creating content in the form that I'm talking about at the moment. So, I'm back. Hopefully I didn't drop off for too long. There might be a couple of people in the house using too much internet. Anyway, now the other thing I wanted to say about content marketing and about this challenge is because it is something that needs to become an integral part of your business, this creating content in order to grow your business online. Now, as self-employed people, we're actually also people and we have lives and stuff happens. Now, those of you who've been following along for a while with me will know that right now, as in this very minute, I'm in the middle of moving my entire family from one house to another back into our old home, and our home was not looked after very well by the tenants that we've had. So so we're really busy, life is happening. So we've been spending a couple of weeks of just cleaning, scrubbing and disinfecting. And now finally this weekend, so the start of the challenge, I'm actually moving everybody to the house. So we've got actually a long weekend here in Tasmania in Australia, and we're going to be moving all of our things back to the house. So I'm really busy. Now, in most people's world, this would be a perfect excuse, i.e. life is happening, for me not to start the second challenge and to put it off for a week or put it off till next month or whatever. But I decided that, this is such an important thing in anybody's business, this creating content. And this, me running this challenge is creating content for my business as well as helping you create content for your business. So it's a happy little circle. I thought, well, isn't it a great lesson, not just for everyone else, but for me as well, to actually push through? I mean, I'm not saying you should be completely myopic, but too often as self-employed people, we give ourselves a break when life happens, and we just go, okay, I'll put that on the back burner. It's only my business because this other thing's happening in my life. And the reality is there are actually plenty of times when you could, what do they say, toughen up a bit and actually do both. Like if I had a job where I was going somewhere and I had a boss, they probably would say, okay, yes, you can have a couple of days off for moving, but you're certainly not having 2 weeks off to clean your house and then, X number of days to move your people in, to move your family into this new house. So the reality is I have to treat myself as if I'm my own boss now. And that's the juggle we have to do as self-employed people. So I'm going to push through. I will be here at 8 o'clock every morning as part of the challenge, even though you may see the environment behind me change a bit because I'll be in different places, things like that. So I'll be checking in for the next few days. And then I guess by at least midway through next week, all of my videos will come from my home, which is not where I am now. I've been at a beach house living, which has been very pleasant for a year. But now I am going home, which is also very exciting. Now, that's a little bit about me. Not really all that relevant, apart from the fact that as a lesson as business owners, that being able to push through is very important. especially if you want to continue to grow your business and treat it like a real business. Yeah, so you have to be your own boss, and you have to be a pretty strict boss sometimes, because it's very easy to let life get in the way. All right. Now, how does this Content Mojo challenge work? So those of you who've already done it once will have a pretty good idea, and we're not going to change that much this month, because life's been happening to me, so some things have given away. But because we did so much work last month, we can just do these Q&As, and we can look at the resources we provided last time and run it that way. So for those of you who haven't been here before, the Content Mojo Challenge it goes for 2 weeks. The very first week is a blogging component where you are required to write at least 1,500 words on a targeted topic. So the first week is all about you, probably the first couple of days is all about you doing a little bit of research to see what am I going to write about. Because it's okay for you to just write about anything, but if nobody's actually looking for that content on the web, it's not going to do you a lot of good in the long run. And so what you want is to come up with a topic that will attract people. So people are going to Google and they're searching for, how do I tie my shoelaces? And you've actually written a blog post which is quite comprehensive. In fact, it's 1,500 words or more on how do you on how do you tie your shoelaces. Then it's quite likely that your blog post would pop up to the top of the search results. And that's the whole purpose. So in the resource centre, in saying that, there is a resource centre which we've created, and there's a few videos in there. And one of the videos, at least one, is all about, actually probably a lot of the videos in there, come to think of it, are all about the research and trying to find out the topic. So what topic are you going to choose in order to serve your community in the best way possible? And the best way to find that out are things like going to find out what people are searching in Google, and also going to websites like, and the videos will show you how to do that, going to websites like Quora, where you can see what questions people are asking, maybe Yahoo Answers, and there's a bunch of other resources that you can go and have a look in the videos in the Resource Centre, and you'll be able to work it out. So you need to go and do that research, and you need to come up with a topic that you're happy with, that people are interested in, and it has to be covering, usually it's some sort of pain point. Last month, Frankie did one on X number of ways to make money before Christmas, and that was quite timely because she could put it out, and all through October, people are starting. We're seeing Christmas decorations and things like that in the shops, and we're suddenly starting to think, oh, I need to think about that now because it's such a big deal for so many of us to get organised for it. So, and not to mention to get a bit more money into the bank. So that was quite timely, and she got more than, I think, her 1,500 words, and I'm sure that's been a blog post that's already got quite a bit of traffic for her, and she'll be able to promote it all through November as well. So that sort of gives you an idea. So that's a pain point, although it's a very specific one for a specific time, it is a pain point. Being able to come up with something that's what we call evergreen is also quite valuable. So Frankie's, being the Christmas one, is not necessarily evergreen in that you could run it every month, but it is evergreen in that you could run it every Christmas season. So she could probably use that over and over again from October to November, even a little bit of December of every year. So I guess it is evergreen, but it's not it's more seasonally evergreen. So coming up with a topic that you would be able to be relevant to somebody, whether they found you on the internet this week versus in 4 years' time, they're great. That's great content to put on to your blog in this when we're doing this exercise. So there are a couple of things to think about. The videos do go over that. So that's what the first week is all about, us creating this 1,500 piece epic blog post, 1,500 word piece. And of course you can use the Facebook group to come and bounce some ideas around. And also, this is where we're going to do the accountability. So in the Facebook group this week, your job is to go in and I'll post a little image every day, and you just need to go into the comments and write down exactly how many words have you created today? How many words have you written? Because that's accountability. Even if it's zero, it's quite a painful thing to go and write 0. I didn't do anything today. And then the next day you find, at least this is what I find, I go, oh, I might do a little bit more than I'm supposed to do today, because if I don't, it'll be zero again, and I need to catch up. So that's a good idea to think about that and to use this accountability. Make sure you do use it. It's actually a very powerful part of the whole process. So accountability is for you to go and put that number in every day. All right. So that's week 1. Week 2 is where the fun starts. That's where I really enjoy it. Especially if you're creative at all, you'll love week 2. Week 2 is about us repurposing that blog post. So it's about us turning this one blog post. So we've created one piece of content, which is great, but that's just one piece of content, and there's only so much you can do with it. Except actually in week 2, we're going to find out that there are loads of things that you can do with that one piece of content in order to spread it around social media and places like that, in order to make the most of all of that work you've done. So we'll be creating things like memes and quotes and infographics, and we'll even get into some video and some audio and things, and slideshows that we can then share on different platforms around the web. And they'll all point back to your blog post and to your website and to your business. And that's the whole purpose of what we're doing. So we're going to create a fantastic blog post in the first week, which will get some traction over time, and it does build the foundation of your business. The more blog posts you create, the more web pages you have on your website, and because they're going to be relevant blog posts, they're going to have even more fodder for Google to send people to. But that's a very slow process. It is like building a house one brick at a time. Just imagine you go out there, every blog post is one brick. It's going to take you a long time to build your house. However, maybe every blog post is one row of bricks. We'll say that, won't we? That sounds a bit better. And then the next week, actually creating these little, what we are calling them baby content, repurposed pieces of content, which point back. That just gives it like a little bit of a boost, so that people know that they can come and that they'll be able to see it. You'll be able to remind them. Social media is so busy. And then, the images we'll create will sort of pop and will attract people's attention. And the next thing you know, you have lots of people over on your website. And if you have evergreen content, you'll be able to send people back to your website using this repurposed content over and over again to the future as well. So that's sort of a potted history of what it's all about and how it will work. If you have any questions, that's what the Facebook group is for. It is going to be like the engine of the whole thing. I will be here every morning it's 8 o'clock in the morning here in Australia. I'm not sure what time it is where you are in the world, but I do have, I think there's a little list of what time it is in different parts of the world at 8 o'clock in the morning. Otherwise, just go and check one of those time converters and you'll be able to work it out. I've got the cat, trying to stop the cat walking across, which she's pretty keen to do. She likes to stand on my computer. You might have one of those at home as well. So this is the second time we're doing the Content Mojo Challenge. And why? Well, it was such a good thing to do the first time. And because, as I said, this is actually what your job needs to become, creating content for your business and for your blog, and preferably in a manner like this. So it seems to me, not only for my own sanity and to get me to create these blog posts every day, that if we were to run this challenge every month, the first Saturday of every month, then that would encourage all of us to do what we need to do in our business and to do our jobs. So that's what we're going to do. At least for as long as we can, we're going to be running the Content Mojo Challenge on the first Saturday of every month for 2 weeks to encourage all of us to create a blog post and to then create in the second week a whole bunch of repurposed content. And that's going to give you so much collateral, marketing collateral in your business that you'll be very, very excited. Imagine in 6 months you'll have 6 fantastic blog posts, and then you'll have lots of images and things that go with it that you can use to market over and over again. If you have evergreen content that you used, you would actually be able to, if you really wanted to, just the next 6 months, all you did was put that repurposed content out, those little images and things that we're going to create, and point them back to those blog posts. And, that could be all you did, is because it's all evergreen and it's still relevant to people. And there are plenty of people I know who have employed strategies like that in their business to grow it going forward. So they set up a process like this, and then they put it in place for 3 to 6 months, and then they just rinse and repeat. They literally just rinse and repeat. And then once they've got a little bit of automation things in there, then there's actually quite a bit of hands off as well. So it's sort of setting up your business in order to succeed the way that you need it to, so that you're not involved all of the time. But we need to get this kind of work done first before you can get to that level. All right. So this is all about creating habits. It's about being consistent and showing up, turning it into a business. Really, a business where you're the boss. That's why we're going to continue to run this challenge, and I do hope that you enjoy it. We want any suggestions, feedback, anything. It's all very relevant, and we would love to hear from you, because it will dictate how we move forward and any changes we need to make. I know I've got a meeting with Frankie next week, one of the participants and one of my coaching students, because she's got some ideas she wants to share with me to run forward with it, and that's great. I would love more and more of that if possible, because it's really for me about how I can best help you to get these things done and to grow your business. It's not it's not supposed to just be me talking all the time. Hopefully, I would like this to be more of a two-way conversation. So you can also leave your questions. If you can't make it to a live call to ask your questions, then there will also be an image every day in the Facebook group which says leave your questions below. So please make the most of that. I'm here. I charge $125, $150 an hour for people to talk to me in person, one-on-one. So make the most of that time. I'm going to be here every day for you. You can ask me whatever questions you like. So mostly these things only go for about 15 minutes. But if there are people hanging around and they really have things they want to discuss, then I'll be here for as long as you need me. All right. Actually, one of the things I do want to mention is in this research phase, you might come up with more than one idea. That's great. In fact, if you start a list somewhere, whether you use your phone or something like that, and put it away, because you can come back to that next month. So the more ideas you can come up with, great topics that you can use for your blog post, the better, because that will help you go forward. You'll be less likely to get stuck. All right. So if you come up with a bunch of ideas, that's awesome. Write them down so that you can use them next time. All right, it's time to get started. I want you to go off and start doing some research, come up with some pain points that people are having that you can solve in a blog post, because it's all about you giving. Use the videos in the resource center. So they're at mission-mojo.com/challenge resources. The link I will put under this video, but it's also all over the place in the Facebook group. It is password protected, and the password is a tricky Mojo. M-O-J-O, no capitals, all lowercase. So that shouldn't be too hard. The password is usually wherever I've put the link anyway. It's also in the emails. If you haven't signed up to the email list, please do that, because I give you alerts when things are coming up. Otherwise, it's time to get started. Go start doing some research. Come into the Facebook group if you have some issues with what to choose and what topic, and we can bounce around some ideas and do a bit of brainstorming. But don't spend days on it, because you need to start writing, all right? And as lots of really clever people say, actually something done is better than something perfect, never actually out of your computer, which is actually what happens. We all procrastinate too much and we don't actually get anything done. So it's much more important that we get something down than we spend lots and lots of time researching in a big black hole and never actually starting. So we need to start. So I will even try and find some time today to decide what topic I will choose, and I'll put it in the Facebook group. So come over to the Facebook group, throw down what topic it is that you've chosen, and then we can all get started. All right. Thanks for being here. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be an exciting fortnight, 2 weeks. It's good. It's awesome. All right. Take care. I've got to go do some packing. Ciao.